Well, hello, everybody. Hey, what I'm doing today is I'm going to update with the new 2.0. I'm going to update my optimal settings for the Helix and have a little bit of explanation. So what you want to do is hit the menu button and go to Global Settings. And the first one we're going to deal with is in and outs. There used to be an impedance after guitar pad in, and that has been moved to the input block. So we'll go there real quick. That has been moved to the input block under Guitar NZ, excuse me. And they're automatically set to auto now. So just so you know where the impedance from my old instructions, well, it's now in the beginning in the input block of the patch. But let's go back to the menu button and hit Global Settings. Let's go through here. Let's not really stress about any of the mic settings. It really doesn't matter. This, I think, is set normally to 0, so we'll leave that to 0. And you can just normally click in to get the default settings. So if we go page over, you'll see I set my quarter inch outputs to instrument. You can do either line or instrument. But again, there's instructions in the manual as to absolute appropriate settings where it goes. Like instrument would go to the front of the amp. Line could go to the to whatever would take line. But, and I'll give the but here, I always set my XLR to mic, instrument, and all these to instrument. It just depends on what pedal you're going to for the sends and returns. However, what I found, if you're getting any digital noise, any digital clipping, you'll want to take and set these at this optimal level. And I set now I switched knobs because I actually like the little knob here so it doesn't get adjusted accidentally. The big knob, it made it easy to bump. So that's just a preference. I actually switch the phone knob and the volume knob. So I have the little knob, but I put it about 1 o'clock and I set everything to instrument and line. And then we'll go through the settings here. These are for reamping and your more advanced features, and there's information in the manual about that. So final page on the ins and outs would be sample rate, and those are for digital. So this is for digital, this is for digital. If you're using digital high quality equipment, I'm sure you know what you're doing. So next one, we go to preferences. And a little word here about the discard mode, or the, snapshot edit mode, recall, and discard. And you're going to know what mode you are on. If we look at the patch, you'll see that's not red anymore. It is white. And if we go back into the menu settings here, and we turn it to discard. Now the differences are between recall and discard is, say you're using a patch and you click a snapshot, but then you make some edits by going to the pedal mode and turning on a delay or a reverb and turning off an overdrive. If you have it on recall, when you move from snapshot to snapshot, it will save that changes. So I put it on discard for a very specific purpose. I put it on discard so that the way I set my patch up, it will always stay, even if I do go into the pedal mode and make changes. So the one caveat to that is you need to make sure every time you make a change that you want saved as a snapshot, you have to hit save twice. All right, and then this is the tap tempo pitch. Now, if you hit the tap tempo and it's on transparent, and you tap tempo, whatever you're changing will not make a sound as it changes. Or authentic, if you tap tempo delay, you'll hear that change. So that's what that's about. And then you can change your preset numbers, but most people just leave them alone. For the MIDI trick, where I hook the MIDI to the MIDI, you want to make sure, the one thing you want to make sure that you change is MIDI through, you want it off. That way it sends the changes out and back to it and accepts it back in. That's that. And then displays, this adjusts where the blinking light and also how dim the brightness is for the rings. Expression pedal, I've got mine set to the expression pedal position per snapshot, but you can set it to per preset or global. I set mine to per snapshot. And then we'll go to foot switches, and how I set mine up is I do 8 snaps, 10 switches, auto return, and banks. This is just my preferences, but you can get all sorts of things going. Like if I go to the mode, you can see it changing. Scenes on the bottom, being able to change pedals at the top, presets. So just, that's a matter of preference. I set mine on 8 snapshots. Those are the settings that I use for my optimal tone. Thank you very much. Have a good day.